1. Birth of the metal. Where the journey begins. Deep inside a foundry that never sleeps, the ground trembles under the weight of 2 tons of scrap steel. Rusted beams, bent plates, torn machinery, remnants of forgotten machines all fall into the open mouth of an induction furnace. The air hums with electromagnetic force, vibrating like an invisible heartbeat. Dust swirls upward in shimmering waves, each particle illuminated by the furious orange glow of the molten core. The environment is dark, oppressive, almost sacred. A cathedral built not for worship, but for transformation. Here, the metal is stripped of its history. Every dent, every fracture, every scar melts away. What remains is pure potential. Liquid metamorphosis, the alchemy of steel. As temperatures climb past 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit, the solid mass liquefies. Up close, the surface looks alive, bubbling, convulsing, pushing, and pulling like an ocean in a storm. Carbon probes pierce the white-hot surface. Chemical reactions ripple beneath the molten glow, releasing islands of dark slag that drift like scorched continents. Heat distortion bends the air, making the metal blur and shimmer as if reality itself is softening. This is industrial alchemy, perfect carbon balance, optimal fluidity, the foundation of everything that comes next. 3. Shaping the future. The mold awakens. In the molding hall, the world feels different, colder, grounded, filled with the smell of sand and metal dust. A hydraulic press thunders downward, stamping a brass pattern plate into oily black sand. When the plate lifts, 12 flawless spherical cavities remain. Each one is a silent blueprint, a promise, a future vessel of extreme pressure and explosive force. 4. The descent of fire, pouring the iron. The ladle moves overhead with mechanical grace, its exterior crusted by years of heat and old metal. Below, the molds wait, like open mouths. Then, the pour begins. A stream of glowing orange iron drops with calm elegance, but everything around it erupts into chaos. Sparks bounce across the concrete floor. Smoke churns upward. The sand flashes white from thermal shock. This is the moment where formless liquid becomes future structure. 5. Cooling ritual. From fire to solid strength. A time-lapse view reveals the transformation. The bright red glow recedes. The iron darkens. The sand burns pale and cracks. Tiny waves of heat shimmer above each pour. Blue wisps of smoke rise from binders, burning away. Inside the mold, iron atoms lock into crystalline patterns, a lattice of strength formed by controlled cooling. A shape is born. 6. Breakout. The birth of the casting. The molds meet violent force. Vibrations at 60 Hertz shake the sand apart until it collapses into a dust storm. From the debris emerges the casting tree, a cluster of raw, gray spheres connected by thick runner bars, still warm, still rough, still far from complete. A hydraulic shear snaps each sphere free with a metallic scream. The brakes expose bright silver fractures, showing the true purity of the metal beneath the rough skin. 7. Mechanical perfection. Machining, the core. Inside the machining hall, automation takes over. Robotic arms grip each sphere with absolute precision and place it into a spinning chuck. At 1,500 RPM, the sphere becomes a blur. A carbide drill descends, cutting a perfect central cavity. Coolant floods the metal in white torrents, hissing and evaporating instantly. Spiraled ships fall away like blue-hot curls of steel ribbon. Then comes the threading, slow, steady, hypnotic. The tap tool cuts internal spirals that shine like silver jewelry deep inside the iron body. Finally, a facing tool skims the top. A perfect flat ring emerges, the future sealing surface for the fuse. Each sphere becomes a precisely engineered vessel. 8. Cleansing and identity, becoming a weapon. The machined bodies are lowered into bubbling alkaline baths. Oil and metal dust dissolve into murky water. When lifted out, the spheres steam violently, drying in seconds from their own residual heat. Next comes color, identity. In the paint booth, rotating spindles carry each sphere through clouds of electrostatic olive drab. The wet paint glistens like liquid armor. Inside the curing oven, the gloss disappears, replaced by the iconic matte military green. A rubber stamp descends. Grenade, hand, frag, M67. Yellow ink transfers with a soft, imperfect squish. The sphere is no longer anonymous. It now carries a name. 9. The explosive heart, filling the core. Behind a 12-inch thick blast door, the air becomes humid, yellow-tinted, and heavy with chemical vapor, blocks of composition. B resemble pale blocks of hardened wax. They are unwrapped by gloved hands and dropped into a steam-heated kettle. Slowly, they melt into a thick golden slurry, one of the most powerful explosive mixtures ever standardized. The molten explosive is stirred gently until smooth, then, through a precision nozzle, it fills each grenade body to the brim. The heat of the explosive fogs the air around it. As the mixture cools, its surface turns matte, forming a shallow depression, a shrinkage void that engineers expect, measure, and control. The grenade gains its heart. Nima 10, total verification, where perfection is mandatory. Nothing leaves this facility without passing a gauntlet of tests. Weight test, ensuring precise mass. Leak test. A single bubble means failure. Thread inspection. Precision measured by hardened steel gauges. X-ray scan, revealing internal density and explosive uniformity. Witness marks. White paint confirming nothing has loosened. Every grenade must be flawless. There is no room for uncertainty. 11. Packaging for war. The final journey. The finished grenades slide into black fiber tubes coated with asphalt for waterproofing. Cardboard liners keep them centered and silent. Metal caps seal them. Red pull tabs provide quick access. 30 tubes are stacked into each wood crate made from treated pine and bound by steel wire. A wooden spacer locks everything in place. Wire loops are twisted shut with specialized tools. Lead seals are crushed to certify tamper-proof integrity. Strapping machines wind black steel bands tightly around the crate. Pallets rise, stack, and wait in a cavernous warehouse lit by sodium lamps. Endless rows, endless crates, a silent reserve of controlled force. 12. From the foundry to the field, the final moment. The transition is abrupt. Cold rain, mud, a soldier's breath in the dark. A gloved hand reaches into a pouch and retrieves a single M67 grenade, pristine, flawless, identical to millions of others born from fire and steel. The safety ring quivers as droplets cling to it. This tiny circle of steel once existed as a scrap of wire. Now it holds back an explosive charge powerful enough to transform the battlefield. For a moment, everything stops. Rain, breath, silence. Then, a single heavy, distant thud. The same mechanical heartbeat that began the story. The cycle continues, always.
As you can see, the clearance here is minimal. The yellow zinc coating protects the fuse assembly during transport.
This guarantees the ammo hasn't been touched. The machine hums. The diamond tip sinks slowly into the polished metal surface, leaving a tiny crater. This proves the metal will shatter correctly.